creators! Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Christy and this is Christicreates. And if you're not new, welcome back. Let's get started on some Valentine's DIYs. We're going to use a couple of these Dollar Tree wood signs and then those LVE letters I got at Walmart, as well as the little shiplap looking heart. So I'm going to remove the staples from the back of all the letters, and I'm going to remove that heart. And on these particular signs, the paper pulled right off with my little scraper tool right until I got to the end, and on that little part I just used my heat gun and it popped right loose. There was no paper and no sticky residue left on there at all, just a perfectly clean wood sign, which was amazing. So once I got all of that off, I did go ahead and keep that heart just in case I wanted to use it, you know, on a later DIY. And then I cut off the string that was on the back. And with one of the burlap hearts that I had, I thought I'm going to layer it with this other heart that I was planning on using. And originally I was just going to keep it in the burlap look, but later I do decide to paint that, but you could leave it either way. So I'm going to take my Waverly chalk paint in crimson, and I'm going to give 2 coats on both of those signs that we just removed the paper from. Then I'm going to take the ballet slipper I cannot talk today. Ballet slipper in the Waverly chalk paint, and I'm going to cover all of those letters that I have. And I will quickly go through this so you don't have to watch me paint 2 entire signs and lots of letters. Just make sure that you do get the sides of the letters. I'm also going to take some wood beads that I had in my stash, and I'm using 2 different sizes. And originally I paint some of them. I do 4 of the larger and 15 of the smaller. I do paint the 4 larger ones red at first, but I do change my mind and I go back and do 4 in white. And then here is where I'm showing you take that burlap heart, and I went over it with the ballet slipper pink chalk paint, and I did put it on there pretty thick because I wanted it to be completely covered. You could also just kind of barely kiss it to give it, you know, where you can still see the burlap through it. Here I'm flipping the signs over and I'm taking a whole bunch of popsicle sticks because I'm extra and I do everything over the top. And I'm using wood glue and hot glue to glue those signs together. Now I'm going back with my dried wood beads and I'm going to feed them on some jute twine. And here I'm showing you I took a little piece of tape and just kind of rolled it around the end so it kind of made a needle point so that it's easier to stick through the beads. And I do 3 pink beads, 1 white bead, and as you can see the white beads are just a little bit bigger than the pink ones. And then I'm going to tie a knot on each end, and then I'm going to put down a whole bunch of hot glue, and then I'm going to put a little bit of masking tape over the top of the hot glue, and that super duper locks it on, and that's not going to come loose on, you know, anytime in the future. Then I'm taking my letters and I'm going to go ahead and layer up that heart, and then I'm going to I'm kind of playing with it to see if I want to use the red and white baker's twine, if I want to do just a tiny little bow, or like a finger bow where it's got a lot of loops. And that's what I did decide to go with, was the really loopy finger bow. And you could also use jute twine here or any other kind of little yarn or ribbon that you had on hand. I was mainly just wanting to cover the hole that's at the top of that heart. And here I'm going to go ahead and glue that heart down. Just make sure it's good and stuck, and then I'm going to go in and glue on my little bow that I made. And now we're going to glue down our heart to the actual sign. And then we're going to go in and glue the rest of our letters down. I did not measure this. I just kind of eyeballed it, but you could measure it if you wanted to make sure it was exactly even. Make sure you let me know down below if you guys like this one. This one was my favorite DIY that I created today. You guys, look how cute this turned out. Oh my gosh, the colors are amazing. And it just makes me smile. Like, it literally just makes me smile when I look at it. It's probably one of the favorite things that I've ever created. Today's video is in collaboration with Betsy over at Cuttin Corners Vinyl, and that is in Nederland, Texas. She has a YouTube channel for her Cuttin Corners Vinyl, which is a store where she sells a lot of vinyl, like basically any kind of vinyl you would want or need, she has it. She also has a makeup channel, so if you enjoy makeup like I do, make sure to check out both of her channels and let her know that I sent you over there. I will be sure to link both of her channels down in the description box so you can find her. Now we're going to throw in a little easy vase. Since most of you will get flowers for Valentine's Day, you could make this up and put your cute little flowers in it. So I'm just taking some of that burlap ribbon that I got from Dollar Tree, and that is a little glass vase. I believe I got that one at Walmart, but you can find some that are very similar to that at Dollar Tree as well. I believe it was like $2 and maybe 50 cents at Walmart. And here I'm taking some of those little, they're just little stickers. All of these are stickers. So I've got the felt stickers, the little dot stickers. I've got some ribbon that I had found at Dollar Tree and some that I had gotten at Walmart. This one is from Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to kind of layer that up on top of that burlap. And then I'm putting those little, I guess you call them like little pearl stickers. I put them down on top just to kind of give a little extra texture. And then I'm taking those felt stickers and I'm just going to layer them up so that I've got a colorful little like textured layered heart. I wanted all three of the colors, and those other stickers that I've got there to the side that have the rhinestones didn't have the white in it. So I thought I'm just going to make my own, and then I'm going to take off the little heart rhinestone that's on there and put it in the center of the heart that I made. If you can't find it, just make it yourself. So there's what it looked like. And then I'm just going to layer it on top of everything else that I've got layered on there. And this is something that is just so simple. You can't even really consider it a DIY, I guess. But it's so cute. Like, how cute and colorful is that? Like, throw even just a single rose in there, or I end up putting some little baby's breath in there, and it's so cute and colorful and bright and cheery. While you guys are here, I also wanted to show you this Mollie Ollie Memo Caddy that I had been sent. You guys, this comes in so handy in my crafting life. I keep some paintbrushes in it, I keep my scissors, some of my pens and markers and glues, some of my glue sticks, and then just some other little, like my Cricut tool. So far it seems to be awesome quality. I know they did say it's a chemical-free material, and like it even keeps its shape when it doesn't have anything in it, which I love, because then it's not like falling over on itself while I'm trying to load my tools in it. Thank you so much, Mollie Ollie, for sending me this to try out. I really, really love it. And the colors match my craft room perfectly. So I found this cute little tic-tac-toe set at Walmart, and it was $3, and it is all wood, which I really liked. And I thought, I'm going to zhuzh it up a little. I had these little bags left from Christmas, and I thought those would go perfect to hold the little hearts in when we're not playing with them. So I cut out some X's and some O's with my Cricut, and I'm just going to put them on the little wood hearts. This is kind of another one of those that you can't really consider it a DIY, but you know what? You're doing it yourself, so that's all that matters, right? So I'm just sticking those down. And on these, I didn't even have any white vinyl, so I actually used white contact paper. Don't judge me. Once I got them all stuck on, look how cute they look. Like, they made me smile too, all of those fun colors. So I loaded them in the bag, and then I thought I'm going to take some of this baker's twine and wrap around. And how cute would that be to hand as a little gift? You guys, it's adorable. Eek, I love it. I did try to keep the same color theme all day today. Because, like, the colors, I couldn't help but smile when I looked at them. Okay, taking this Be Mine heart. I got this at Joann's for $1.99. Taking the Ballet Slipper Waverly chalk paint, and I'm going to give it a good coat until it's completely covered. Make sure you get the sides and inside all of the letters because you will kind of be able to see that. Then I am going to take this little heart-shaped basket that I got at Walmart and this little red heart that I also got at Walmart. Those were just in the Valentine aisle. The heart basket was $3.98 and the little red heart was 98 cents. And I wish I would have picked up a bunch more of those because they're such good quality. Now I'm going to attempt to glue this heart down. This proved a little more... it took a lot longer than I thought it was going to. Let's just put it that way. So I put some glue on there and I stuck it down. And then I realized because that heart basket is so like dome shaped. Oh, there was a little tip for you. Put a little bit of glue on the end of your hot glue stick as you put it in, and it will stick to the other glue stick. So I flipped it over and I had to put basically a whole stick, and I used the huge sticks of hot glue. I would put a little mound, and then once that would kind of dry, then I would go back like I am here and put a little bit more and then kind of run it over where those slats were so that it kind of had something to grab a hold of, because otherwise there was a big space in there and it just wasn't wanting to stick. So you could probably also like wire it on or put some sort of like putty, like you would put a poster on the wall, something like that. So here I'm just making sure it's good and dry before I flip it over. And now I'm going to glue down the little Be Mine heart. I made sure to space it so that the lines, you didn't see that, so that it looks like behind the Be Mine it's solid. Sorry, you got to see my big forehead there. And then I'm just kind of picking out the little glue strands that, you know. Thanks, hot glue. Now I'm going to take some of my twine and I'm going to make a little finger bow. So I'm just going to wrap it around my finger probably about 10 times. And then once I get it all the way around, I'm going to cut it off and tie another little shorter piece around the center. And then I kind of run it around about twice and then tie it in a double knot really, really tight. And that is going to cover the little hole that is on the red heart. I just wanted to cover that up so it wasn't seen. I didn't want it to look like it's supposed to be an ornament, or I'm not even really sure what those were for. They were just hanging. So I just tie it really tight and then I trim off those ends, and then I'm just going to hot glue it down to where that hole is. And then it's like, ta-da! There was never even a hole here. What hole? What are you talking about? Make sure if you're new here that you introduce yourself down in the comments below so I can be sure and say hi, because I love making new friends. Alright, here I'm going to get out some more of my little wood beads, and you could have done all of the wood beads for all of the DIYs today at the same time. I just, wasn't thinking ahead and didn't do that. So I just put a glove on one hand and I hold the bead with that hand, and that way if it gets all over the glove, no big deal. Here I'm going to put a little bit of twine. There was a little hole in the top, and then kind of looped it through itself and put on a few beads, and then I'm just going to tie a knot at the top so that I will have a little hoop to hang it by. And how cute. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. Do you guys love this one? And on to the next. We are going to take this little sign from Dollar Tree. I believe it's a little chalkboard. And I'm going to remove the little ribbon that it was hanging by. And this is another little $1.99 thing that I had gotten at Joann's. It's just a little wooden love letter word. It's not a letter, it's a word. I'm going to take my ballet slippers and give it a coat of that and make sure to get the edges again like we have on everything else today, because you will be able to see the edges. And don't forget, if you make any of these, to come over to Instagram and find me. I'm at Christicreates DIY, and send me a picture. I would love to share it on my page. So here we're taking some more of our wood beads, the same way we did earlier. And I'm just giving them a coat. So I'm doing 3 white ones and I think 12 pink ones. And here I cut out some vinyl, and the ones that I cut out said PS, I, and U. And then I'm going to use the love that we just painted. I wanted our color scheme for the entire day to all match, so that's why I chose to use the love that I painted rather than the love that I had cut out. And learn from my mistakes. Do not use hot glue on these chalkboards because it will not stick. So, yeah. So I'm using the original Super Glue Total Tech glue, and that did end up holding it. I love this stuff. It is amazing. It's some of the best glue I think I've ever used. I like it better than my E6000. If you don't have this, I'm sure you could use E6000, and you might even be able to use just regular super glue on this as well. I just reached for this because I knew I love it, and I knew that I've never had an issue with it sticking to anything. So here we are taking some jute twine and we are running those beads on there. I'm doing 3 pink, 1 white, 3 pink, 1 white. And then I'm going to tie a little knot so that my beads don't go sliding. Which you wouldn't have to do that probably because we're going to tie it onto the sign. I'm going to run it in through the back, and then I'm going to tie a knot on the front. And I actually tie about 10 knots because I wanted the knot to be large enough that it wouldn't slide back through the hole. And then once I get a whole bunch of knots tied, I put just a little bit of hot glue on there just to kind of lock that knot into place, and then I trim off the extra. Then I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to put some hot glue and use a little bit of masking tape like I did before. That has just always seemed to really lock things into place for me, and I never have anything fall apart when I do that, so it's kind of my go-to little trick. I'm going to repeat the same thing on the other side, and then I am going to make a tiny little tassel. So I just found something that was close, that little basket was close, and I looped my twine around probably 20-25 times. That's just a guess. Just a lot. And then I tied a little piece of twine around there into a double knot, and then I slid that off of the end of the basket, and then you kind of pull it down tight and run some more twine around close to where you tied that knot before, and just keep running it around, and then tie it in a double knot. And then I will put just a little bit of hot glue just to kind of lock that in. And then I trim off the bottom to make it the length that I want it. and then I tie it on where my beads are. I just tie it around that little string. And this was probably if you added in the beads and everything, about $4. And it's so cute. It has a little bit of sparkle, a little bit of farmhouse, so it's like perfectly me tied up into a little package. A little bit sparkle, a little bit country girl. That basically explains my life in a nutshell. And how cute is that? Like, so simple, but so cute. One more super simple, super quick DIY, and cheap too. You could use E6000, you could use your Total Tech. These are two little, I got the bowl and the platter at Walmart in their Valentine section. And when I saw them both, I thought they're kind of the same shape, kind of, sort of. I'm just going to use the bowl as a riser for our platter and make like a little faux cake stand, I guess is what you would call it. Just a little bit of glue, and I used all three because I didn't know which one would stick the best, so I thought, let's just overdo it. I mean, that's what I do on a daily basis, right? Stick it down, let it sit to the side overnight to dry, and you guys, this adorable little platter that you can use for Valentine's Day for your nice little date night. Your kids would love it. Pile some candies and some muffins on there. How cute! And so simple. Thank you guys so much for stopping by and hanging out with me today. It really means the world to me. Make sure, if you're new, that you introduce yourself down in the comments so that I can say hi, and come back next time. I will be posting a new video on Friday.